So last week we started with reading chapter 3. We read the first part of chapter 3 last week, and the topic of chapter 3 is life or relationships on the winding road of life. Relationship on the winding road of life. The winding road of life, right? We have, first of all, we are children, then we become adults, then we're talking here about adult development, right? Unlike as children, we have those cards we keep for children. We're measuring what they should be at 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, all of that. No one seems to take care of us as adults, monitoring where we should be, and that's what the study is all about, and it's just for the sake of studying, it's for the sake of being able to utilize that in our lives and have a better life, improve the quality of our life. That's what we're trying to get out of all of this. I'm going to bring up my slide here like I typically would do, and we'll go for it. So it's a good book written by Robert Waldinger and Mark Schultz, and both of them are the lead at the Harvard School of Adult Development. Good. So, when we look at adult life, that we can look at it from 3 different angles in trying to understand it. There are 3 different concepts which we can use to understand or look at adult life. We can either look at it based on the changes that take place, as we go through adult life. The brain, there are changes in the brain, there are changes in our body, there are changes in our hormonal composition, there are changes in our physical composition, there are changes in our emotional composition. All of those are pretty much internal. We can look at it from that angle, the changes that are taking place on the inside of us. We could also look at it based on the expectation of people and life itself. As we go through our adult life, we have various expectations. There's the age where you're expected to be able to fend for yourself. Some people will say, at this age, you're supposed to be married. At that age, you're supposed to have moved into your own home. At this age, you're supposed to have a car. At this age, you're supposed to have had your children. Expectations of life. We could look at adult development from that angle. We could also look at adult development in terms of the interactions we have with every other person from a relationship angle, right? So those are 3 different ways we can look at life. As we'll do this study and look, we're probably going to have to be looking at it from all of these angles, because the changes that take place on the inside of us, expectations of us, all affect the way we interact with other people, and all of that then affect the quality of our life or the lack thereof. So we will be looking at it from those different angles. So our relationship with people affect us. They determine whether we're happy, not happy. It determines who we are. Right, those that go in seclusion amongst, can't really be said to have a personality, right? Because your personality is proved by your interaction with other people. You can say you are gentle, but if you've never been in a situation that will test your gentility, then you cannot really say you're gentle, right? You can say you're nice, but if you don't have any other person to show that niceness to, you can't really be said that you're nice. Our personality, our character is proven in our interaction with other people, right? Then that's when we truly can say we're this or that. It's proven in the stream of life, right? So our relationship, affects us in various ways, deep, shallow, ways that determine the quality of our life at the end of the day. Our essence is found in other people, not in ourselves. Everything that takes place on the inside of us is the intent that we can impact other people and allow them to impact us also. That is where life is. Life is not found in just being alone. Life is found in our interacting with other people. When we interact successfully, then we can then have a good quality life. When we don't interact successfully, then the quality of our life is deterred in one form or the other, and all we're trying to do in all this is talking about how to interact successfully. We're trying to understand the way to engage with all the different people all the different relationship, all the different forms in our life, to the intent that we can have a good quality life. Because when we talk about relationship as determining, whether the quality of our life, it's not just the relationship, but the quality of the relationship. And the quality of that relationship is dependent on us, right? There are ways to make those relationship happy, quality relationship. Others will do their own, but we are responsible for our own life. We are the master of our fate. We are the master of our destiny, and we are the captain of our ship. We can direct our life the way we need or want our life to be directed, right? And pretty much when it comes to the good life, right, it has to do with growth and change. Growth and change. To be happy, you need to grow. Growth is an essential part of happiness, right? If someone is not growing, you will not be happy. Growth is an evidence of life, right? Life gives happiness, right? So if we're talking about having a good life, then there must be a positive element of growth, a positive element of change for the better, right? So, and also, yeah, so what we experience, what we endure, and what we do all affect the trajectory of our growth, right? Our interaction with other people, our interaction with the elements of this life also determine the trajectory of our growth, whether it's a fast growth, a slow growth, or no growth at all, So other people challenge and enrich us, So relationship does affect, the quality of our life. So for today, what we're going to be looking at, we're going to be focusing on one part of our life today, which is the adolescent part of life. Next week we'll look at the young adult part of life. Then probably upper week we'll look at the old adult part of life. So what we're going to focus on today is adolescence. Right? Are we together so far?
Yes.
Program life. Yeah. So we're going to focus on adolescence today. And I guess some of those, you deal with adolescents as youth corpers. Some of them come to you as adolescents, but most of them come to you as young adults, right? So
Yes.
the book defines adolescence 12 to 19, but the World Health Organization defines adolescence from 10 to 19, right? That's the definition from the World Health Organization. Some people actually define it as 10 to 21. Some people define it as 10 to 25. The reason for 21 and 25 is because of the development of the brain. The brain, what we call the prefrontal cortex of the brain, it is not fully developed until mid-20 or late 20, right? So most people think it's about 25 plus minus is when it's fully developed, So even the World Health Organization defined young people as ranging up to 10 to 24, right? Even though they define adolescence itself as 10 to 19 years old. Do those numbers tally with you? Toba, do those numbers tally with you? Is that your understanding of adolescents and young people?
Yes.
Yeah. So pretty much, yeah. So even though adolescence starts from 10, girls typically mature or develop faster than boys. So girls start to develop a year or two before boys. So you have some girls already beginning to mature at the age of 9, right? And these days also a lot of those children with all the kind of food they eat today begin to show those adult features earlier than the average number. But you can find a girl at 9 years old already beginning to develop breast, right? So pretty much that's what adolescence represents, right? A time when children begin to develop adult features, right? Girls whose chest used to be plain start developing breast, men start developing, boys start developing beards or hair around their, private part, all of those, though it's adolescence is taken from a Latin word adolescent, which just means to grow, to mature, right? So it's just a time when children begin to mature into adults, right? So adolescence is simply a transition from childhood to adulthood, right? So that's what adolescence is all about. And that time, there are a lot of things that go with maturing, a lot of hormonal flow in the body, chemicals in the body that, begins to make that life, they probably a how do you put it now? Sometimes it's confusing. It's a confusing time for people because of all the chemicals that are taking place, the growth that's taking place, the changes that are taking place, the brain development, could be a challenging time for people. And if not managed well, that might be the time that someone loses their destiny, someone loses their future. The children tend to do things that could mar them, at this age, because of the changes that are taking place. If it's managed well, it will set them on the right trajectory for life. If not managed well, it could put them on the wrong trajectory for life.